Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again to more Timberborn. We're just kind of continuing on here with our bad water engineering projects for the most part. Work on expanding the amount of irrigated land we have available so we can get some more districts set out further afield. Over here in this little temporary district, we are continuing to work on this bridge, which is making pretty good progress. We've kind of, only got the one overhang left to go. More levees put on the sides, and then get these last impermeable floors in. And this thing should be flowing quite smoothly. I need to check what sort of distance. Okay. Only one of these to go, and they just need the path leading out to it. Yep, and then the bad water should be draining away off the map, rather than down into here. Over on this side, we're securing this, making this bad waterproof. See some of the fresh water spilling out here, but once this system is all rigged up, these should be fairly proof to all this. I believe I set this up automatically already. Yeah, we're not in a bad tide. You don't let anything flow through. When out of a bad tide, you do let water flow through. So this should start working all on its own, so once the builders are finished there. And now the other place I was thinking we could maybe expand our interests out and get settled was down on this valley right along here. So we do have this whole thing to worry about, which we are, because during a bad tide they'll start flowing bad water out, will be quite annoying to deal with. With some excavations going on down underground here, you can see other thirsty beavers doing long haul duty, excavating down here. Going down underground is excavating what will be a very large drainage tunnel for bad water down here. And then eventually, we'll dig another tunnel into the side of here, and during a bad tide, the bad water will spill down here and then drain away off the map. Now, for the something else we could possibly do along here, because this is using builders up from this district. So we have this district's builders still available. And I was thinking we could start prepping this side of the riverhead here. So we've raised up the water level, I think, as far as I'm likely to want this. Up here, I mean, I could raise it even further. That would require a lot of engineering here, though. We've already run into problems figuring this out. Oh, you need haulers to function. That's something the builders over here can do. Get a haulers station in. Yeah, you are well due for this. Whereabouts I want to stick this haulers post? I wouldn't mind getting a second level on some of these structures. How would I get beavers up here in order to do that, however? Let's see, I could do some platforms up here. Like that. Up to that. Up to like... Well, I'm trying to think. That will... Yeah, that will allow this to function. So we'll have spiral stairs there. Yep, and this gets me my second story up here. Okay, and we have another staircase there. And all these should thread together pretty nicely. So we'll just get that underway. Now we're kind of at the limit as far as I can go here, and that can be the location of, the haulers post back here. Drop you down to 3. Cool. I mean, that'll give them something to work on immediately, but once that's done, like I was saying, we've pulled the water level up to here. I could raise it even higher, but that would involve quite a bit of re-engineering back here, because, this drainage level is down here. If I raise this even higher, I'm going to have to strip out all this, power shaft stuff, which I am still installing at this moment. And then, let's see, higher up. And it would be stable right up to here if I filled this in. That would flood out slightly. Oh, that's probably worth doing, isn't it? Bugger. Yeah, well, there's a few things that need to happen before we do that, so we'll just get a bunch of levies ordered along here. Yeah, and just raise up to that high, which will keep the builders from this district doing something at least. And then we can contemplate renovating this thing. But, like I was saying, re-engineering down here. So, we're at this height. We're probably going to raise you one higher even, which means if I want repeated steps down of water in here, we should be able to raise the initial water level up here quite high. And what I need to do is figure out exactly how high I want it. So if we go up to level with this cliff, we'll be drowning out these dead forests. That's fine. They're already all dead. And then that would be irrigating some of the terrain up here. Yeah, if I do go up to this level, I can force this river back with dams here, because this is just a bit of overflow from the bad chai drain out this side at the moment. And that would irrigate all along this. So, what level is that river at? That river is at the current same height as the water in here. Okay, if I go one higher, you're still in a fairly contained riverbed? That's interesting. That is interesting. I could potentially bring this all up to this level just to get that extra bit of irrigation in. I reckon the first thing to do is just to bring these two areas level, however. This water will not be doing anything at all, but it barely does anything as it is. Yeah, and then we'll just force the water back along here, and we'll see kind of what sort of irrigation we get just from filling this channel in. We can then also use that to, like, irrigate out some of this, maybe? Really get all of this green, and then we could build another district in here. Lots of flat farmland. You could get small water reservoirs just in here. We could use dynamite to blast those deeper to make sure beavers up there don't run out of water. Yeah, so we need to get levees enforcing this to this depth along here. So where exactly do I want this to operate? We could... The simplest place is probably just build a levee along here and flood all of this basin. Got somewhat into our, like, irrigated land, but not too severely, I don't think. We could alternatively do it a bit higher and have, like, a little diagonal thing here. We could just, like, thread back along here and maybe keep this area flat and clear, which I don't mind. Yeah, I think we might be building along the river's edge and just have a really long levee along here. Maybe even keep that bit clear. We'll see, but in order to do this, we need to get the builders out there. We have kind of blocked off their path here. I'm trying to think, do I want another tubeway station set up in here? I think I very well might want another tubeway set up. Like, stick a tubeway in here, and then that can feed out over to here, and then right down this river, potentially. Yeah, I like that. So, simplest place for tubeway is probably out over here in this little industrial zone. I want you over on this side. It's all much for muchness. I'm probably feeding a tubeway up here, down there. Yeah. So we'll just stick you there. And then a tubeway to run along here. Yeah, build like that. You need to be a vertical. And this will keep the builders in here busy for a little bit. I'll just build along the cliff edge. Do I want to bother destroying those trees? I do think I do want to destroy those trees. That's a very cute natural stair leading up to there. Maybe I do want to build out around that, just so I could potentially use that stair for something later on. And let's just get that out there, and then I'll figure out what to do with this tubeway once that's built. So, building this in. Want to raise up this water level. Up to that height, and then potentially this height. If I do go up to that height, this will, just require another wall entirely along this edge. So we'll just focus on this side for the moment. And we'll just build in along here. So this is going to be a lot of logs in order to get this thing constructed. But hopefully this should be worth it in the end. Yeah, like that, like that. I'll need to... Yep, did not mean to place that one there. I'll need to figure out what I'm doing. I'm kind of letting water out of here down into this next section. I mean, probably just want a base level there, so you're permanently reserved. I misaligned you. Yeah. Scrap these plans, please. Like that. Okay. Levy, up there. Along here. Along there. Yeah, and then we'll just stack you up there too. You up there too. 2 wide, 3 wide. I mean, we're letting 3 things of water spill through over on that, so we're probably going to divert some back here. Yeah, let's try and increase the water flow here. So, a pair of 3 high floodgates positioned in here. Do the trick. I do want you 1 higher in case I ever raise the water level high up here. Yeah, you there, you there. Okay. And now that will be an enormous investment in logs. But eventually, that will all be done. Right, once they've built that, well, we can see I managed to get this hauling post in. We are a bit short on beavers here now, with those extra workers required to run that. We do want some spare, because we're running the centrifuge and explosives and stuff in here, so we'll take Lowtown up to 26. Good, good, good. Now, I believe I just saw... Yeah, homeless beavers. Where are the homeless beavers currently living? You're good. You're good. This district should be good, yes. Here. Yeah, no, it wasn't here. From what I... Yeah, we just transferred some more beavers here, so this place needs some more accommodation too. Which will be another thing that can keep the builders busy. Now, what can we do that wise? We could get another row house hidden in somewhere. Barracks somewhere. I probably want to do something with the row houses. I mean, we have this little 2 section here that will be quite awkward to fill in. Just a row house there should do quite good. It's a bit away from this decorative clock I set up to keep everyone happy, but oh well. I think I am unlikely to have a build on top of it, so we'll go for a large row house in there. See, drought in progress, just slowly doing its drought thing, 7 days, so. That'll get done when it gets done. These things are almost there. Yeah, we just need to... Yeah, you're building up those levees. Got the throttling valve down there that still needs construction. But the one on this side is all done. Yeah, so during a bad tide, these will open up. Bad water will flow out this way. And the top of this plateau is looking lovely and irrigated now. We're really not far off being able to get another district set up over here. How have these lads been doing? Well, that thing is almost done. Just 4 more logs in order to get that final overhang in. Yeah, and then they've built up the levees pretty much along here as much as they can. It's cute. They're leaving the stairs till the end because they're prioritizing putting the logs in the overhang. And there, that's done now. A large lot of levees. We're going to be going through so many logs trying to keep up with this process. Beavers swimming. This scrap metal pile is already filling up. Do I want to get a second one just to make sure we have plenty in reserve here? I mean, sure, it's probably better having excess material rather than a lack of material. Stack it on top of the other one, I reckon. So, spiral staircase just leading up to it. I can't readily escape through that tree, and I like the appearance of that tree here, so we'll just do a straight stair like that leading up. Yeah. Now that gives me a way out on this path if I ever want to build out here further. Like, get builders out here to do some stuff. Unconnected building. Yep, I know. That will be connected shortly. You can see our power supply is completely exhausted. This is all very power hungry. What I probably want to do is actually get this number cruncher set up so this only runs when we have plenty of excess power. I mean, I think we have enough science to unlock everything else remaining if I decided to. But like, I like having the number cruncher running. So, for that, yeah, we'll need a clutch. Unlock that. If I just delete that power shaft in there. That's interesting, cute. They can reach here, but not here. Why is that? Let's see. Builders, over here. And I'll just get some new paths in and then they'll be able to reach fine. Disengage, automated, automate onto the fine weather sensor. Yeah, so during temperate weather, you will... I mean, automated disengaged. The fact of saying automated disengaged and it's not receiving a signal makes me think that, like, when it is not receiving a green signal, like at the moment, during a bad tide or drought, you'll flip off. During temperate weather, I'm assuming, however, you will automatically engage yourself and let power flow through. Yeah, the disengaged clutch is the one that's not transmitting power, so that should be fine. This stuff is all being built out successfully. So, once I get out to here, what sort of positioning am I looking for the districts? Probably just one out on this area of flat land over here. Yeah, just like in there somewhere. So I'm just thinking about where I want these pipes to end up. And then another one probably like just up here, which can then reach down and service kind of this area of terrain right by the entrance to this river. Okay, yeah. So, with that in mind, we probably will be wanting 2 tubeway stations. Like one that exits here-ish. Just pencil these in. They're going to be far enough away that they're not going to be constructed yet. One that exits... I want the actual district a bit further down. I might want it a tad further down, but we can have a bit of a longer run to the district exit here. Yeah. And you can be built out the back. But actually, like, working on this thing... We might just get an interim little district exit, like, en route to that one. So we won't build out to this, we'll just build out to this one, and this can serve as the current district exit. Yeah, build like that. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to get down there. So you guys can run underwater easily enough, which is good. I am going to build this up higher. We're going to be looking at having to go over the top of that, but we can manage that when the time comes. Like that. We'll just have a bit of a division here. We'll just get a platform here to support this thing because, I mean, there's no point like dipping down a tile to try and head back up. No, you should be a vertical tubeway. And future-proof this against raising that levee. Like so. Yeah, we have the footpath in here. Tell you what I think we can do. We can run... yeah, like that across the footpath, just to keep that intact in case I ever want to use it or want to get past this line of pipes. Now, I think we are probably just cutting through these plants here. So, cut trees, no, demolish resources, mark resources for demolition. Get that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one, please. Although, did we establish they cannot destroy resources out of pipes? They might not be able to do that. We'll see how it goes when they get a bit closer. We can probably awkwardly thread a tubeway through here. Or even, like, run it down here and around that way and then just have the branch up here to reach to there. We'll just see where they can do that when they reach that point. Oh, this is coming along lovely. Just to check, underground is looking good. Yes, it is. That is a clear path for the bad water to flow. Now, I'm not certain if we're going to get any flooding or if this one wide channel is going to be sufficient to harness all of this. Because I don't know how much bad water this source is actually putting out volume-wise. It might choke here and overflow. If it does do that, we're finally going to need to... well-being, yeah, get some of these decontamination pods in, but these just use extract now at this point, and we can afford that. Yeah, so these decontamination pods, they'll cure beavers who get infected by the contamination. Couple of vacancies somewhere. What workplaces are we looking for? Oh, the efficient mine. Yeah, too many beavers getting injured over here, it looks like. We do need to increase the population slightly in this place. Well, that's all done. Means when this drought ends, this is going to start doing some fun stuff. And that probably means it's also time to start working on this section. I mean, do I want to get my new district started here? I think I might. Like, we'll have a district up here, maybe another district down here somewhere. I think I like the idea of having this district up high on top of the terrace. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll have like farmland down below, which they can access. We'll be building into some of our irrigated land up here. That is all right. So, I mean, whereabouts do we want this district center? Like, if I just demolish one of these paths, we'll have the district crossing like right at the exit here somewhere. Like, just in there. Tuck it into the actual corner. And I might want to build that area up slightly. So we'll build this. Yeah, district center about there. New district. Now I need to think of a name for you. Like, you're about level up with Topside around here. Topside kind of gets its name a bit of a reference to its neighboring districts, though. It's above Lowtown and the Reservoir District. Think about this as we develop it out. So, stuff you will need. You will need the ability to get drinking water. Yeah, just a pump accessing this little interior river is probably just fine as a source. We might get another one kind of down over here in this reservoir bit. We'll need you to have a source of logs, a lumberjack flag. We have plenty of trees up here we can start cutting. I do think we're just going to try and clear fell all the dead trees up here if we can. Just highlight especially all the oaks like that. Food-wise, and you have plenty of farmable land. We get some farms up on this side maybe. We'll see. Meantime though, let's migrate some population. Yeah, we want a minimum of District 2. Minimum of 4, let's go up to a minimum of 7 beavers to start with. Yeah, and I'll get some builders in. And someone on the deep water pump, someone on the lumberjack, and someone spare. Yeah, I think I should grow corn out here maybe. Because we're definitely not producing enough corn rations. Like, this one factory is not keeping up. And you'll be able to get power from this water to power a food factory. Yeah. That sounds good. I do think we need to increase the population over here in the mining station too. Just up that to 16. Oh yeah, that's right. We were on the limit of beds at the moment. Right. Actually, looking at that, they did actually find somewhere between the bed. Do we have spare beds? Okay, we have a couple of spare beds still. So I'll just put one more beaver over in this district. You need to be scrap metal storage. Yeah, and that's all working away. Lumberjacks. We want to get some storage for the planks we're going to be pulling in here. Yeah, just stick you in there. Log storage. And we'll just use this path to get across the river here, expand that out a little bit. and he'll just work away comfortably. Yes, we'll have lots of irrigatable land up here. Irrigable? Whatever land up here to work with, especially once we build this thing up. So like levees up to there will contain, the river up to that level, which will be nice. And then I'll redirect the water from here down here, which will start flooding this, and like between the water irrigating this land up here and then the water flowing down here, this will all end up very green. If we wall in this, we could get the water flowing along here potentially. Yeah, I'm not too certain how these two places will interface at this point. We'll just see that over time. For the moment, let's just work on growing some of this stuff. Can you reach that far one from up here? Yes, you can. Yep, and now that should be destroyed before you do this one, hopefully. Try and do this so I don't need to worry about stairs for the moment, though. I am probably just going to stick some dams in here as a little interim pathway, so it doesn't matter too much which order they do to deal with all this. Oh, I do not have food being imported here. I need to get that district crossing in. Stat. Okay, destroy you. District crossing. Okay, and you'll be able to get food once this is done. Build up both of these, please. This district will need some more workers to support this, too. 2 on each. Yeah. No, not automate. Automate. Migrate population. Yeah, we'll want to go up to 18 beavers here in order to support the 2 extra workers we've just requested. At least not running out of water from the deep water pump. They won't starve to death. They'll get food imported in time. Now, how's this looking? Okay, they're working on this. Okay, so this stuff is starting to get too far for them to reach, so we need to do that, expand out the paths they can walk on. Let's get it so you can... But that is not adjacent to that, in fact. Despite what the camera angle made me believe. That's right, they can get up onto this land through here. So I am thinking that what we might end up doing here is maybe ending up like a district on these central 3 plateaus here, like rather than keeping this in this current location. Because we still need to think about raising the water level along here too. Like this place, it is very small, narrow strips of land along the edge of here. Like, I'm not too worried about this getting flooded. We can raise the water level up to the level of this lake, right, along this cliff face. That will require building levees between these terraces in order to support that, which will be kind of the next task for this place to go. Like, get down here, build a levee, get another levee in here, one last one in here. Let's just have a look at this. So, yep. I wanted to do that. Do I bother getting rid of those blockages? Probably not. We'll just build the levee slightly past them, I think. Yeah, like here. Right, that is one level lower than we want. Just because I'm not certain where I want this to exit yet. We'll just get these levee templates in. Whereabouts we want to build this? A bit further out. Further in. Right. Diagonal building is always a tad annoying. Stuff like this. We're definitely not having an exit there, so we can wall that in. Do I want a diagonal levee? This is probably the one we're going to be building last. We'll just pencil that in. A levee somewhere like that. Cool. And then you will be straightforward enough to raise up to the appropriate height. Just, sure, we'll do it here. Yeah, like that. Now, drought has ended, water's flowing back through. Yep, water flowing in there. This stuff will all start slowly making progress. Yeah, you cannot demolish resources from this. So we need to reorganize the tubeway down here. Just, just run along the edge like that. Just get rid of those. Unmark all this for demolition. It's fine. You need to be a vertical tubeway. There. Tubeway, connect into there. Okay, in order to connect up to here, let's start reverse engineering from where I want the ultimate endpoint to be. Now we'll just a little awkward wiggle down through that riverbed there. And then, yeah, we'll just have a couple of spare pipes not doing anything there. I can ask for these to be deleted at least. Maybe someone will retrieve that. And if they do, I can remove the next one too. Yep, looks like someone doing something there. I saw a beaver run in. Yeah, hug close to the cliff. There we go. And now they'll get this all started. Nothing to do in range. Ah, you have demolished all the trees. Well done, mate. Oh, so we can see some bad water is doing stuff. Now, hopefully they'll be able to... Yeah, you cannot quite reach those two middle sections. So the water is all just draining down that one wide column at the moment. Which is nice. It's not like overflowing past the edges. That's nice because that suggests we might be able to successfully channel it all down this one wide passage. If this doesn't work, I'm either just going to have to stoke contaminated beavers or wait till the next drought in order to keep excavating. Now, you guys, yes, are no longer starving. That's good. I appreciate you not starving. Get some dams in there. Then I need to figure out how to get you across to here to build these levees. I mean, long pathway down. A little bit awkward to actually reach that side. It might be easier to approach from here. I have a path run along the edge like that. And then bridge across. Get you out to there. And you are going to need to get down here because I think they can only reach 3 down, and that is a 4 high structure. Yeah, so if I want you down there, we're probably going to be doing some suspension bridges. Definitely not the 1x1, but let's unlock all of this just to be neat. Gates are used for cutting off paths on demand. You can like make a path only open sometimes. I don't typically see much use for them. Like a 3 and a 2, we'll get across here simply enough. Yeah, like that. Like that. Now, how are you guys going? Okay, last one. Let's see what this does. Okay. Bad water flows across the bridge. Yeah, there's not too much flow in it. Not too much flow. Into the tunnel. Is it going to back up the tunnel? Bad water level is increasing. Yeah, that's getting higher and higher. And we are getting some flow off the map here. But yeah, I don't know if this is enough of a rate to stop this from spilling over. That does seem to have steadied. This might be working. Maybe. I'll just keep an eye on it, make sure there's no overflow, but it is just kind of sitting at the top of that block and not going any higher. It seems if I fast forward, what happens to the water level? Okay, it's even lowering slightly. Yeah, just a little bit of congestion as it initially went through, it seems. Okay, this works. That is a successfully installed aqueduct. Excellent. And we do have, like, trickle of clean water. This water level really does not increase rapidly at all, does it? Like, I mean, it is currently draining, actually. I missed that. So yeah, once this stuff is in, we'll see the water level try to increase, and yeah, we'll just need to keep engineering this. That can all stay there. If I ever want to get across this to the other side, this will be quite dangerous. So we're going to demolish these stairs. And just get like that. I don't think we need to access this tunnel anymore to perform maintenance, or just form a more permanent walkway that won't get them exposed to the bad water. And then if I want to start building this thing, I mean, we can probably just start working from the bottom. Yeah. Once that bridge is done, you can pathway down to here. Start building up this wall. And we'll need to add one more layer, but we can access that from the top over here. Yeah, good, good, good. How are these deep excavations going under here? This is a very long-term sort of project. Okay, yep, so you've kind of gone back as far as you can. We extend the path. Keep blasting. This will need to be done before you can redirect this bad water away. Or this bad water away. I'm possibly even more concerned about the rate of flow through here. Like, this will only be producing bad water sometimes, though, and there'll be enough of a backup reservoir. If it can handle this, and this is just a bad water source somewhere underground, so I can't click on it, but just like this one, seems to have a roughly similar flow rate. So if that can handle this permanently, then with the excess up here storage, we should hopefully be able to, like, drain that. Plus, over time, the small amount of bad water this will add into this reservoir during bad tides. Yeah, good progress. You beavers are all still homeless, so you'll need some new homes, but the builders are pretty busy over here. Probably want to get plank storage in here too. Just so you can have, well, planks in storage. Stick them somewhere, anywhere, just there next to the district center. Getting some basic farming in here too might not be bad. Getting some housing. See, I could stick some barracks right along the edge of the river here. Like, a barrack might not be bad here. We'll just, yeah, get you built there for the moment. I do love these row houses so much, though. Such a nice space for a barrack. No, we're doing the row houses. They're just so cool looking. Yeah. And that's the equivalent of a barrack, and it's just a tiny bit more vertical space. We'll get 2 row houses in along there. Maybe I should start getting some farming work done. I should get another woodcutter in here is what I should do. Start cutting down some of these birch trees so we can open this up, get some farm fields in on this side. We'll need to migrate some more population. Let's take you all the way up to 10. We are starting to run into caps of beavers. This could be a good spot to maybe get a few more tanks in. Get some more breeding pods. I'll need to get some berry bushes in. That can be something the farmers get up to once this is turned into farmland. Yeah, get some berry bushes in. We'll have plenty of water, especially once this is filled up. You can be self-sufficient for your own beavers, not have to import everything from over here. I'll get a source of beavers out in the corner too. Now, how's this work going? Slowly, slowly, building everything out. Yeah, just lots of long-term work going on. I reckon this place is going to be the district that's progressing the most quickly at this point. Yeah, this thing slowly getting built. Interesting, our log stockpile is actually increasing. All the lumber work we're doing is actually managing to keep up with the current rate of consumption. Raised up the level there. Want to start thinking about raising this up higher. And very first thing to do, we are going to need to raise these levees up. Let's get ones up there. You're all good. This bank's all good. There it is, just this annoying little industrial section. It will need more work, which will mean tearing out these power shafts. If I make this water deeper, is the water wheel even going to function? I mean, it won't function because it needs somewhere to... Yeah, it needs the actual shaft up one layer higher too, so I'll need to tear out that water wheel. Now, just replacing that platform with a levee should keep this side safe. Hopefully. In case of flooding, please flood this area. Now, that will be the thing. This floodgate won't work as a drainage method if this increases. Right, I'll need to remove this floodgate. Right, just have it drain water out into here. But how could I even drain this if I increase this water level? I don't think I could, not easily. I'll just have to, yeah, really build up the walls here. Maybe even do these 2 higher? Because, like, this is close to flooding. Honestly, yeah, getting these side passages in 2 higher might be necessary in order to safeguard this. Let them get on with it. Got this bridge in. These beavers are building out this section. This lumberjack flag is working away at cutting down these few birch trees that are in here. Farmhouse in, we can start work quite swiftly. You reach a large area from in here. I approve. Now we'll just get a farmhouse built in there at some point. Now we have a few spare beavers sitting around. Not that many, however. Like a couple in here just because some of our mining workers are like healed up, so we're no longer quite as many beavers injured. 7 beavers injured in total over the colony, though. That number keeps rising. You can definitely have someone on that if you find anyone available. What tasks is everyone busy with? You really need a water pump of your own, just so you're not importing all this stuff constantly. I mean, where do I want this final district to be after all this? Right, so this bad water is going to make farming quite annoying. I think I do just need to get these actual levees in position before I can tell what's going to be irrigated here. I don't know if like any of this space will end up irrigated or farmable in any realistic way. Like once this is done up to that level, like will that be high enough to irrigate anything? We're just going to need to see. This area is low down, it probably will be, but that is the area that's also low down enough that it's getting contaminated by the bad water. Let's drop down underground, expand out this path a bit. Got a few more tiles done. You guys are slowly progressing. As you see, they've got that platform in position. They're getting most of this side done, which is the side I kind of wanted done later, if possible, but they're going to get both of them done anyway before they do anything on the big levee system, so... yeah, let's start thinking about you. At the moment, you are most of the way towards the top of this block, really close to the top of that one. If I raise you up another one, you're going to be really close to the top of this, so I do think, yeah, raising all of this up one higher yet is necessary for keeping this safe. Need walls in like that. I'll just wait for as much of this stuff to be installed as they can before we start tearing out the bridge. Ah, good. Farmland. Done. Okay, plant crops. Let's get... actually, plant bushes. I could do stuff with coffee. I don't have anywhere growing coffee yet. Okay, so coffee beans every 3 days grow 1 coffee bean. You consume 1 coffee bean, 1 water, 1 log to make 4 coffee. Takes a bit of power. This place will have power. Yeah, I might have some coffee beans growing up here as well. Not in time for like actually installing that though. So we'll get just some berry bushes, plant these, you know, up the back here. I don't need that many berry bushes, just enough to maintain our... in bad tide, this might get a bit funky. We'll see. Just enough to keep some breeding pods active. And then some kohlrabi just as a makeshift food source too. Yeah, just a little patch of that in there. Oh, start working on that, please. Okay, they are managing to build down there. So this might actually work. Yeah, it does look like they can reach 4 down. This should be fine without needing our beavers to run along the floor of this river. that's continuing. How is this one looking? About halfway done on that. I'll need to get some beavers down here to figure this out. Yeah, ultimately, where do I want water flowing? Across here. Like, the bit of fresh water in here, I don't think is necessary. This reservoir up here irrigates this land. And I don't think I need any water in here. So, water will be flowing down here or here. Maybe both? Yeah, this is a bit complicated to plan out because I don't have a too clear vision. There's so many little maze-like tunnels through here. I think I want some water ultimately flowing down here and here rather than through this channel. So like we'll raise up a levee here. But you know what? I think that might mean we have the water flow through here actually. That way we can like lock this in and divert it back along here to then backfill these sections. I'll make this quite meandering. It won't give me a good flow rate for power, but like this lake is so large compared to the amount of water we're getting as an input that we're not going to be getting much hydropower out of here anyway. So yeah, I think we will stick some landscaping floodgates along here. Two floodgates gonna be enough to handle this? And I guess we'll see. If we get flooding, we can... I don't need double high. Almost certainly not building this up higher than this. I don't think so. Yes, once that's in position, we start raising up the rest of this terrain. Levy, 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 levy. And then here. And yeah, I don't think we're going to be draining water out of this, so this can just be a diagonal one. And yeah, one further back here in order to make this a bit neater. Means I need to do two more along like that. Yeah, and that will hold the water back there. Is there potential to raise this even higher? You know what? There is potential to raise this even higher. We're doing this as too high floodgates. Yeah, double floodgate, double floodgate. Drop you down to 0.65 meters. Cool. Leave you to it. Well, this is making good progress. You can see they're building part of this levee. Quite nice, yeah, because they need to stack up to this one in order to actually build across, and they're building ones alongside too. That'll work out quite nicely. Now, yeah, I will need to raise the height of these double floodgates if I'm interested in, like, raising up this section. So I need you in there, and I just need to remember to do that at some point. It's so much work to actually engineer and all this. I mean, what this place might actually need is just more builders to get this done quicker. Yeah. Get a builder's hut, which can live somewhere next to the hauler's hut. Sure. Get you there, get you there. Please, high priority. And you'll need 4 more workers. Yeah, Lowtown has a couple of injured beavers at the moment, so... And we are, yeah, well and truly running up against the amount of beavers we can physically maintain. Nothing during range. And you can definitely cut that tree. That's an irrigated land at least. Yeah, cut those ones. We can leave these few scattered along the edge. He'll be freed up to be a farmer in a second. Help support all of this. And we're so close to a really big turning point, getting all of this irrigated. So much of the bad water is almost contained. You are making remarkably decent progress cutting this tunnel. Once that's done, we'll need to build out the aqueduct here, which will be its own bloody task. I do think we deleted the builder's hut in here, which we had. Which is a little bit of a shame. You know what? I don't think... This is very limited, the amount of builders that can work on that at any one point. Yeah, we can't really redirect any bad water here, though, but we can start tunneling back into this cliff as well. Keep these guys occupied. So... Let's see, yeah, so this is the point of origin, so this is where we'll need to redirect from immediately. So what we'll probably want to do is raise up the sides of this structure slightly. So you are 3 high along here? Yeah, 3 high off the base level here. It's 1 high, yeah. We'll just want to go dup, dup, like this. So this can be a decent bad water reservoir. Just build you out there. Give these builders something else to do. And then actually tunneling into here will be something that requires these throttling valves. Like, yeah, 1, 2, 3 along here. Yeah, we can't place you right next to... Yeah, you can't place into the cliffs. Once I explode this in this section, honestly just 2 throttling valves should be enough, and then we'll have another valve. Oh, I don't want to choke that square though. I don't know if that will emit diagonally. So yeah, we'll expand 1 further out. Stick a levee in there. Throttling valves here and here. Then another 2 there and... Oh, yeah, still not neat enough. Still going to be choking that. Is just a 1 wide throttling valve going to manage this? I think it might. Decisions. And yeah, that's all solid rock above here. I will go... Yeah, 1 wide, 1 wide. Indecision, as usual, being my bane. Then you should be physically blocked by the 2 valves. We'll have a valve facing there. Yep, no water will be able to squeeze past that. We'll need to tunnel through here. And then just spill right over the edge of the cliff. Yeah. That'll be the easy way to handle this. Like that. We'll just need to get some workers up there to dig that in. Yeah, and I'll spill over here, spill down into this reservoir, and then drain out there eventually. Yeah, you have finished cutting that, so we'll delete that. That gives you a second farmer. Yeah, you're only just keeping up the kohlrabi, you haven't even... Oh, you need foresters, don't you? Not the farmers. Well, we'll give these farmers some more stuff to do then. No, I do want that forester, actually. Forester. That is very nice, tucked in amongst those ruins. I like that. Oh, look at that. I do like the aesthetics of these two ruins just next to the area we're actually settling. I don't think we'll remove those for scrap metal. We will just keep them. This thing is getting there. Yeah, water level's going to start increasing as they build this up. Didn't quite finish it. They'll get there. They'll get there. See, they're building up that forester. Farmers gain some kohlrabi. That gives you a little bit of food at least. And look at that, water level rising. Slowly. There we go. Now it's starting to catch up. See this bit of irrigation spreading along the land. Beautiful. Yeah, and this will be corn land down here. -1 work on there, please, just so we have this forester. Yep, get some of these blueberries in, because they'll take like 24 days before the first harvest in, so it'll be a little bit before we get any new beavers out of this district. Get that started sooner rather than later. Yeah, we have a full stock of new builders working out of here. And these guys are, yep, pottering around, being busy. Look at that, they're reaching out of here in order to get work on that, on the walls along here, swiftly as they can. So we'll just give you a nice little path right along the edge there. Now I need to figure out about building this section. If I get... Honestly, I think the most efficient way to get beavers down here might actually be like that, just pathing wise, rather than doglegging around. You can get some of the base done along here at least. Yep, I'll leave those builders to it. Stock of logs is dropping. Bit by bit by bit. Yeah, you guys cannot readily reach that section, so we'll need to get some stairs in to construct this stuff. How are you guys going on this wall? Okay, that's as far as you can reach up, so we'll need to drop down from above. That. Like that. You'll need to... Actually, yeah, we'll need a path there, stairs leading down. Soon that will be ready to start. See some water flowing out of here. Then, last little logs. You're not going to get that finished today, are you? Yeah, we're almost at the end of the day. Oh, you did it! Well done. Yeah, so this is the water level this section is going to be sitting at from now on, so... As you can see, that leaves a lot of land nicely irrigated for us to start growing corn in. We could get some wood cutting in here too if I want to get coffee growing. That's probably a good thing to do. Make use of this forester while they're here. So that's blueberry bushes in. coffee bushes right along the edge here, maybe? Yeah, coffee bushes in the back here. Get those growing. And then Gather's Flag, be able to service all of these pretty efficiently. Yeah, if I stick Gather's Flag in there, they can handle a huge area, so... I don't know how much coffee we're going to end up needing. Let's just get more coffee bushes. Oh, bad tide. Been a while since one of these. I get to see if the various defenses I've installed over the last little bit actually function. Yeah, you install all of that. Well, these coffee bushes are going to die horribly every bad tide, aren't they? One's up there. I mean, coffee bushes... They don't take that long to grow. Hopefully they'll survive. I'll stick some more coffee in here. I might end up getting, like, replacing where this kohlrabi is with more coffee too. I'll have actual crops down here. Yeah, 3 days, we get to see if everything functions. Like, yeah, we have not seen if this works during a bad tide. I don't believe so. Actually, I think we might have, but yeah, we'll need to check to see nothing horrible happens to any of our beavers. You know, I have not readily controlled this water source yet. That's the other thing I still need to do. Yeah, so this will end up quite bad tided once this starts operating, which means beavers down here are going to end up in danger. Which is a shame. Yeah, I think I just honestly forgot about controlling the bad water source down here. Like, I was so busy focusing on the top section. Like, how do I want to handle that? Honestly, maybe just draining out directly below this one. I have 2 bad water exits down here. Yeah, it's like blow out there, have a little tunnel through here, which the water can drain through. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's just start thinking about this. Tunnels, drop one down like this. Just along there, all the way to the edge of the map, please. Now we want to build up like levees along here, along there. And then we'll... Simplest way to do this is probably just with platforms along the middle, and then we stick an impermeable tile on top of each of these. Because we're building a little underground tunnel here. Dirt excavators and train blocks might make this a bit simpler too, but... Yeah, so that's all like that. We don't actually need this... Well, I do think we want a platform there. We just don't want to reinforce that. Yeah, and then we'll build like that. The drain. And then we'll build out like this. Yeah, that is in the way, unfortunately, and we cannot remove that support easily. How do I want to do this? And I'll probably just, like, blockade... I mean, directly above you is solid rock. If I were to request throttling valves built along here, and then throttling valves built along the other side in the event of a bad tide. Yeah, and then during a bad tide, you would preferentially drain back here. Yep, so that's for throttling valves, drain the water into there, straight down to here. like that. Then we'll reorganize what we're doing slightly with these levees. Yeah, levy there, levy there, levy there, levy there. There. Need some platforms along here, and impermeable top on all of these. And then levees along the top of there. And we just need to enclose this space. We need another platform with, I mean, a dam would probably work, but that's just more expensive. A levee there. Okay, once this is built with the modifications here and here, which I might just order installed immediately. Like that. I believe this should function as a bad water drain. Yeah, some work will be needed in order to make this functional, but they'll get there. Now, once the bad tide starts, actually being down in this work section is going to become dangerous, difficult. Like, yeah, the workers working out here, I will just need to cancel their construction orders. I might just start with that by deleting that. How far can builders reach up here now? Yeah, I mean, they haven't even built those stairs yet. But hopefully that should stop them attempting to path out into the water to construct those. Now, builders down here are fine. They're just operating completely out the water. Like, it's draining places that aren't here, so bad water won't spill over. It'll keep draining out there. Hopefully this engineering should work. I'll check the tide here, see what this bad tide does to our new coffee bushes. And yeah. Just wondering, do I want to get another breeding pod in somewhere over here just to help keep the population up? Maybe this place still has so many spare berries. So many. Where could I squeeze another breeding pod in? One wide gaps that are handy and not useful for other things. I mean, that's nice 2x2. I might use that for something. I still like having the path back there. Okay, right back here. That's a little bit awkward. Stick another breeding pod up here, maybe. Here, 1x1 gaps. Yeah, back there. That works. New breeding pod. Get that installed. This one get our numbers slightly increased because we are right up against our current carrying capacity. Plenty of free red scattered around the colony. Less than a day. See if I've forgotten anything in all this bad water engineering I've been doing. Yeah, none of this is... I don't know if tubeways through bad water run the risk of contaminating beavers. I guess we're going to find out with this little bit of construction. See if any of the builders over in this district end up contaminated. And look at how much work you guys have to do. You are getting there though. Like, there is a wall being installed. Yeah, you're successfully building this out. I need to give the builders over here some more stuff to do. Some more storage buildings. Probably a good place to start. Get some medium warehouses in. Get one over there. You have cut down most of the trees. I'd really want to put a storage building kind of directly on top of you, but you still have 3 trees to go before I can delete you, so settle with this one for the moment. This can be kohlrabi storage, since we have kohlrabis coming in here. Perfect. You are 2 wide storehouses along there. So one of these can be blueberries. One of these can be the coffee beans we'll eventually be getting in. Yeah, like that. Now, I probably want another bridge across the river. I probably want a couple more bridges across the river. Good spots for bridges. I mean, this little 1 wide gap across here seems quite perfect. So, get 2 wide and 3 on the other side. They're always odd numbers, so I never get to use the same number of bridges. I need to do a 3x1 and 2x1. It's never a 3x3 and a 3x3 or 2x1. 3x3. It's never a 3 long next to a 3 long or a 2 long next to a 2 long. It's always one off. Yeah, so that's another way across. You don't quite neatly fit there as another bridge. But I think I might, just to make the pathing really simple, do this. And that actually is a 2x2 as well. There. And now there's a few ways across this river if they need to get across. Leave those builders to work on that. Okay, here comes the bad tide. Let's check everything works. Okay, what are you doing? Bad water, flowing successfully. This functions. Look at that. Good. Bad water. Yeah, this is not functioning. Contamination sensor. Okay, there was just a bit of delay in, yeah, it's swapped over, so a tiny bit of bad water gets through here. Not much, though. We are seeing quite a bit of spill over the sides of this channel. That will need addressing. Like, it is only while it settles, but I would like that not to happen in the future. So let's get some levees along the edge of there like that. That relay is in kind of the wrong spot now, so I'll need to think about adjusting that, but we'll see how the builders go working on this thing. Oh, this is all bad tidy, doing bad tide stuff. You're still flowing along successfully. Yeah, you're just building this stuff out bit by bit. Moving real slow because you're thirsty. Yeah, where are you guys going? Where are you going? What are you building? Where are you going? You can't... Oh, you're pathing all the way out to there. Well, we don't want that happening. Because, like, not during the bad tide. This will end up as bad water sooner rather than later, so just delete that so you can't path all the way out there. Okay. Now I think we're pretty safe. Yep. Look how lovely and green all this stays. Yeah, it is just this little problem to deal with back here, which hopefully this structure, when it's all done, should manage. Train blocks really would speed up some of this. So train blocks are just like this ground block, which the ground is made out of, hence why it's called a ground block. And you build these using dirt. 4 dirt per train block. And you get dirt from this dirt excavator. Heavy duty mining rig for collecting dirt. It just tunnels straight down, digs a big pit in the ground, and then starts outputting dirt that you can use. Even once it hits bedrock, it keeps producing dirt. So, and then you can just, once one of these is installed, you can build as many train tiles as you like, pretty much. So getting one of these, it might not be a bad idea. The mining district would be the suitable place for installing one of these. These do take power, 200 horsepower. So if I wanted to install one of these in the mining district, I would need a source of power for it. A large power wheel and just get a bunch of beavers working could be fun, and I haven't had an excuse to build one of these yet. That would, however, be quite a beaver intensive operation to install. The power wheel would take 4. This mining rig, even if I don't have 4 beavers running it all the time, it produces high injury, so you need a lot more beavers than initially appears. Yeah. Okay, so let's delete that farmhouse for now. Let's reorganize this section. So I want the farmhouse a little bit further down, I reckon. Yeah, stick you in like that. Like this even? Yeah, like that. Yep, there. Just get some paths running through here. And now we want to get some trees planted across here. Yeah, if we just stop you from working on this, and then the farmers will harvest these as they come in, and then we can replace these with some trees. Also some more coffee. Yeah, coffee bushes down to there. Along the front here. And we'll just start getting some oak trees, so this place actually has some wood growing. I reckon that's fertile? That might be fertile. Yep, and that'll keep a woodcutter quite happy. You guys can't reach that kohlrabi to harvest it? Yeah, nothing to range. Okay, we're just replacing these with oak trees then, immediately. So, demolish resources. Tear out these plants. Get some kohlrabi growing along there. Other stuff these guys probably want to go. We could get some cassava being growing up here too. And let's get a little bit more kohlrabi just along the back there. I'll get a cassava field in. I need to get a fermenter up to handle that in a minute. Let the builders clear that out, replace those with oak trees. And quite a long bad tide this time. Bad tides are quite a bit shorter than droughts, but this one is kind of operating on the same scale as droughts. Luckily, once you have the countermeasures in place, they're functionally the same. Well, don't quite have the countermeasures in place, though. This all turning into bad water is a bit nasty. We'll get it, though. We'll get it. You can see they've started working on all this. And they've started blasting back here too. Yeah, look at that. Very well done, lads. Very well done. How's this tunnel, by the way? Yeah, we need to get more path out here. There, now just a straight shot right across to the edge of the map. Well, builders can apparently reach this. They're busy doing other stuff, though. It is so far for them to run. Well, this dam is making remarkably good progress. Yeah, we are right across to this point now. Really, that is... Oh, of course it's too far. We don't have a way to get across there. Silly me. There. Now you'll be able to keep working. Now, I have not seen any, pop-ups of contaminated beavers, and they're definitely having beavers swimming through this bad water. Which means I think these might be bad water safe. Yeah, can't get all required materials. You are just, yeah, running low on, I mean, everything. This is a very resource-poor camp. Food-wise, we now have a vast excess of corn rations. I am not at all certain what triggered that or why we've been so low on corn rations up to this point, but I'm glad to see that's now what's happening. We can probably get some more storage for like eggplant rations in order to distribute these a bit further too. Like we're producing eggplant rations here, but then filling up the storage. Like another medium warehouse for eggplant rations in here could do quite nicely. Whereabouts do I want to build this stuff? And this is a nice little 3x3 space. I mean, I could just get more eggplant storage and along here too. I mean, I have eggplant rations there. We'll get another eggplant ration storehouse. Over here, these are decreasing just because we're not manufacturing anymore during the bad tide because all of our power is cut off. And medium warehouse to... Oh, I could do a large warehouse to store eggplants in. Make that what we're using this big 3x3 space for. I mean, this is not actually a 3x3 space, though. This is 2 2x2s with some scaffolding that needs tearing down on top of it. I could turn this into an eggplant storehouse. Yep, eggplants. There. And that will be plenty. Another 1,200 eggplants on top of our current 200 storage. Alright, you've cleared that out, meaning we can get oak trees planted across some of that. Maybe I don't want oak trees there and there. Let's get more coffee across here. Like, just one woodcutter will... This should be enough oak trees to keep one woodcutter busy. Yeah, you're working away happily. Now, getting power up here. So, obvious point of power, this waterfall down here. Actually, installing a power wheel will be a tiny bit more difficult. The thing to probably do is a bit similar to what we did up here. I won't do the full loop around situation, but just like a drop down into one of these. And just like control the width of the river here so it doesn't expand out as quickly. I can backfill out here if it wants. Yeah, and that will be kind of above the water level. I mean, I could raise up the water level in here, maybe. Like, the fact this channel is so deep makes that a tad awkward, because it's a lot of levees to reach down to the bottom. Let's do it, though. So, how high do we want the water level? Up to there? Yeah, up to there. And then we'll want a large water wheel, which we can build... Yeah, there seems good. Like that. And then we'll do levees out the front. Don't need that one there. Yeah, and just keep raising you up. Yeah, and then... Yeah, we just do these two as dams, and I think... Is this going to be deep enough in the water? And I don't care if there's some spillover on the sides. Like, what I want to do is like get a vertical power shaft in here so we can start feeding power up. Get that done at some point, please. I'm confident this will work. We'll just get some dams in here. Yep. And I could potentially stick another one in front of that too if I needed more power out of this. I am going to need to actually get beavers down there to build those. We'll need some staircase stuff going on. Yeah, like that. Like that. You know what? We'll do a curved staircase in here. I need to get treated plank storage in order to make that work. Okay. We will need treated planks here sooner rather than later, so another industrial pile to start storing those. Yeah, you'll squeeze in nicely there. Treated planks, please. And yeah, we can see we're losing water here. These coffee beans last a reasonable amount, and we're not getting any contamination up to here. During a long drought, we might see some of these die. I might need a water reservoir out the back here just to keep these irrigated. Like, these bushes take quite a long time to grow, so having these die during a drought would be rather sad. Farmers, busying away. They're making remarkably good progress building that up. Wow. Amazing what actually having materials on hand and proximate makes in, like, constructing stuff. They pretty much built as much on that little section just in that time as these beavers have built out on this section since I built that platform. Check underground here. Only a little bit of progress. They'll expand the path out. You'll make it eventually. Yeah, so they've started work constructing this whole device. It's going to be a whole saga to build. So yeah, actually accessing the interior of this in order to build this is going to require, like, getting in here and then funneling all of this out. If I wanted to get in there, easiest way to do it is probably not building that levee yet, and then just pathing along the top of here. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That does not immediately work. Bad tide has ended. Lovely. We're going to need some spiral staircase nonsense in order to get up here. Up like that, and then a pathway in here that they can follow. Yeah, irrigation spreading around. Bad water flowing away. This is all blue and back and functional again. So we can see a tiny bit of non-bad water does leak out, but these are almost perfect seals. You'll need gears in order to finish off this power stuff. You gear storage too then. Requested a medium warehouse. Where do you want to stick you? If not right there, I reckon gears further down towards this end, but I will make a little loop around that 3x3. Storage, medium warehouse. Yeah, we'll just start running along the back here. This can be a gear store. Everything is operational. I never did check if the clutch thing was working, but I mean, it's currently transmitting power, which is nice. These are slowly being raised up. Yeah, I think this system is quite overburdened for the most part, like during the daytime. You can see some of the fluctuations in the power. Like, we're not getting as much out of this as we used to. Yeah, the builders here have kind of made a bit of progress along here. I am going to just leave them working on this as priority, though, before I try and figure this stuff out, because that's all using the same pool of builders. Scavenger Flag has mostly torn down that ruin. Making progress, making progress. Yes, you're up too high. We do need to get on top of this in order to actually start building it. Like you, and then that. I'll just do some twisting spiral staircase stuff. Yeah, once that's installed, they'll be able to reach up here and build this. I'll need to do the same to get up here. You. Okay. And that bit of scaffolding should let them finish this wall. Just let time keep ticking on. It's lovely seeing the settlement come together. All the wheels working away, the machinery in the background. All the hungry beaver notifications as they scamper around. Yeah, we're starting work on the stuff down here. I'll get done eventually. Gear storage will eventually get done, and then they'll have all gears to get more building stuff done. We'll want a lumberjack flag in to actually cut down trees at some point. Let's face you in there. And yeah, just back on waiting for stuff to be done. Oh, look at this. Getting some of the flooding as they've built up this section now. So this ends up inundated out till here. Yeah, so this will be the size of the pool of water we'll end up over here with. Probably just leave these pine trees down here. Have a bit of a drowned forest at this part of the river. And this valley is really cool. Just like the gradual stepping down over the water. I think we'll try and leave this landscape fairly intact once we're down past this dam. Like, we'll have a little bit of a cut in here probably, so this fills up with water as a bit of a reservoir. We can just blast out some dynamite to accomplish that. And then, yeah, just a settlement in here built up along there. This is always likely going to be always going to be a bad water drain. No, I reckon we're going to make this all fresh water too, so then we could have another settlement down at the end of the river over here somewhere. One thing I am curious about is these channels in the top of this cliff. Like, I wonder what the map maker's intention was building these in. I mean, partially it does just look very cool and it fits in with the plateau geography and just like a little feature on the edge. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm wondering how I could physically get water up into these in order to irrigate the tops of these platforms. You could just manually carry it up and then fluid dump a bunch of water into these, like build up some levees on either side and then use these to irrigate up here. Could be really fancy on like one of these mechanical fluid pumps. So these things eat a ton of power, 700 horsepower each. They do pump water up one side and then down the other. So 8 meters, they can reach that deep, which is real deep. Like, yeah, there's no real simple spot to illustrate here, but like at that level, it is 3 above ground. So if you drop down 3 to about level of this and put a pump in here, this pump could fill this up with water, like just a narrow channel. Ideally, we would want it to be higher though, so it's not going to be quite strong enough in order to get up into this little area if I wanted to fill this with water. Beaver's working away. We can see the gears have come in, so they're getting that constructed now. Power shaft, yep. That'll just get some of the power out of this thing onto this side. I can do a similar, messing around a big gear stack over here in order to get power out to this side if I want it. This district, I have not kind of checked in with yet today, have I? How's everyone doing over on this side? Everyone looking happy like? I reckon so. What's all this storage stuff looking? Got plenty of foodstuffs. You could do some more corn ration or eggplant ration storage over here. Yeah, they're not going to get the big eggplant storage in for a while. Or their other tasks keeping the builders over here busy. So I could store some more eggplant rations over here. Yeah, let's develop this place slightly by doing that. Yeah, medium warehouse just back in there. Make use of that space. Eggplant rations. Well, that'll keep you happy. Average happiness here is 19. We could raise that. You're 27, you're real low 16, obviously, because we haven't done anything with this district happiness-wise. You're 25. You're 22. Yeah, let's see what else can we do to make this place a bit happier. Because we are already getting the eggplant rations just by importing them. So we look at one of our builders. You see they're getting all the food except the algae rations and coffee, which are the two we don't produce yet. And like needs campfire, rooftop terraces. The detailer, the scratcher, swimming pool. Some more aesthetic stuff would not go amiss. I like the idea of maybe getting a rooftop terrace up on top of here if I can. Like, yeah, that'll look real cool. I do need to figure out how to actually get beavers up there. Right, so that's a double platform sort of requirement. So getting beavers... We can build over the top of this, which is interesting. A lot of decorations are too tall to slot a platform over, but not this apparently. Thinking the way to handle this is we just have a little spiral staircase up there. Like that, and then we can do some more stuff like up here. We get a little terrace house along the side there if we wanted to. We get like put some platforms in here and have a storehouse facing this way. Yeah. And then this leaves us a path in there. If we want to keep building out this way, we can use that path to do so. That's a new recreation building getting installed. Got this open space in here, which I'm kind of reserving for crops, potentially. Might stick another farmhouse in, but I haven't been convinced that I need it yet. I mean, we have plenty of canola and soybean just at the moment off these little farms, so cassava, yeah, so many fermented soybeans. Still need more fermented mushrooms from somewhere too. Maybe I should grow fermented mushrooms over here as well. Fermented algae does take canola, so that's something I'll be wanting to grow near here probably, or somewhere else I start growing canola. Might grow another canola field out in settlements over here once this is all irrigated. You're going to be producing coffee. Yeah, and I don't know why my corn rations just shot up. It's like it was lagging for so long, not producing enough, but now we're just like producing tons of corn. It's like I built this giant, large storehouse. I was like, oh, that's never going to fill up. But then it has. And it was sitting down on only a fraction of it being full for so long. Yeah, builders slowly working away on this. Okay, so they've kind of reached the height they can readily access for this section. So we need some scaffolding. So what do we reckon? I reckon if I want to get a second one of these in here, we're going to want to make that a solid levee on this side. We'll future-proof for that design. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, that's what I want to do. So levee, levee. Same sort of deal here. Levee, levee. Levee. And then we'll just have platforms across the top there. Another platform there. Stairs leading down to this. Okay, and that'll get you up to this next level. And we can build up the scaffolding even higher to get beyond that point. And these levees in position, if I do end up putting a second water wheel into this system, those will help frame it, support it. Oh, coffee beans ready for harvesting, and I need to get a gatherer's flag in order to actually do that too. This place does just need some more workers. We have a few spare now. That extra breeding pod I put in has managed to catch up. So District 2. Want you put you up to 13 workers working here. I still need to think of a district name for this place, because this is definitely a permanent structure, not like interim District 1 over there. So what would be a good name for you? So distinctions. You have a waterfall. That's probably going to be the big waterfall in the settlement too, even though we are cutting into it quite a bit with this structure. It's going to make it less obviously a waterfall. It's going to be steps, something to do with steps, maybe as the name. Like stepping stones, green steps, stepping terrace, terrace farms. Terrace farms? Maybe. Yeah, I like that. This is going to be a lot of farmed land around. I mean, it's on a terrace, then steps leading down to another terrace. I like that. I need to remember how to spell terrace. That might be correct. I do not know. Yeah, so terrace farms. New district named. Oh, huzzah. That water wheel is vaguely contributing. Remarkable. This system is still not hooked up. Yeah, you're meant to be united into a single one, but we never actually managed to finish that power shaft. Oh well. This thing is, it's kind of working, the current system. A little bit of inconsistency in the power rate. Yeah, we have lost cassava waiting to actually be processed now, but again, that is waiting on getting power done. check in and see how these guys are going. Making more progress. More progress. Let's see how this tunnel project is proceeding. Yeah, that's getting there. They do need more logs and all that. This is still the choke point for them. Yeah, there's only so many logs they can actually haul in. Especially with all the food that's going. But they are getting there. How are you doing on excavating the internal tunnel? Okay, yeah, so we will need to do... Well, it's too far, it cannot be reached. Ah, this. Oh, you treated planks. Can you get treated planks here? Metal blocks, planks, logs. I don't think they have a storehouse for treated planks. We need to fix that in order to actually get this done. That is a warehouse, not an industrial pile. Keep doing that. Yeah, no storage. Okay, get treated planks in. Then you'll be able to work on cutting that tunnel through. Now, the builder's up here. Now that the bad tide's over, we can actually get these guys working again. There's still a decent amount of bad water in here that hasn't drained yet. Yeah, it lasts for a while. These builders are just very overburdened with everything they're being expected to carry out. Like, repairing all of this and all of this. You know what I think we should do? I think disconnect there. And then we are connecting up across here. So these lads can come down and help. Yeah, you'll run down there, up there, across there. And then... yeah, swiftest way is probably to get up onto the side of this. Yep, once that's done. Yeah, this will just distribute our builders a little bit better. Get stuff working. I'll just have to hope they don't get too contaminated from this almost bad water. Yeah, look at that pink tinge. That ain't healthy, that ain't. Now, if I want to get you inside here in order to work on like these structures, you'll be able to handle that too. So you are automated off the contamination lake contamination? No, off the bad tide sensor. During a bad tide, yeah. During a bad tide, you choke. During any other time, flow unlimited. That's what these three are going to be. So just make sure the path runs along the front, so you'll definitely have to reach that. And then I just need to get over these things. Can be handled just like this for the moment. We cannot... yes, now we can. It was just the view level was stopping me from building on the level above. You keep working away, lads. Doing a good job. Still have a couple of these storage spaces which aren't currently set to do anything. Yet we are running out of logs, finally. Like, the amount we've been consuming is positively ridiculous. I'm amazed we've lasted as long as we have been. What sort of stuff could I stick in these? What food storage stuff? Robots? Fireworks? The only use of fireworks, I think, is setting up... like, where are they? Was it an automation thing? Here we go. The fireworks launcher, which is a little automated building you can set up which shoots fireworks every now and then. I mean, I don't have a source of fireworks at the moment, but getting some storage set up here, I mean, isn't going to hurt. Fireworks are produced at this factory rather than explosives. Like, you set this produce explosives or fireworks from bad water. Other stuff we could sit here. We have the robot parts. I don't know if I'm going to bother with building bots. I probably should just to show them off. But bots are a real big investment to get running. And I don't think they give you that much return. Because, like, really, a bot is just another worker. Like, you can build your own workers out of metal and planks. And power to run all this stuff. Like, you build 3 of these bot part factories. One produces chassis, 1 limbs, 1 heads. Then build a bot assembler, which combines those into a bot. And then, yeah, our bots will eat power rather than food or water. And we have a couple of other, we can give them grease, which they will eat, which is made of canola oil and extract, which will make them work better. Control tower, like, burns through science 3 an hour to buff all nearby bots. And the bots are just extra workers that run around and do stuff. The thing is, that is a lot of investment for a worker that essentially is just a tiny saving in food and water. If you want more workers, it's really probably just more efficient to get more beavers. I don't really see the utility of the bots. I mean, one part of the utility of the bots is they won't be injured. Like, you can send them into mines and they'll just work away without ever having to worry about the efficiency going down. But again, really the solution to that problem is also get more beavers. You have a beaver working in the mine and then a backup replacement for if they get injured. And like, 2 beavers is still a substantially cheaper investment than 1 bot. Got the rooftop terrace in position. So it really does call into question the actual function of the bots, really. Everyone working away. Working. Yep, you can see we've got more eggplant rations all being stored there now. Fermented mushroom we're still running out of. Everything else, though, we are keeping up pretty well. Like, this place has grown a ton of kohlrabi. Far more than it can store. And we're getting plenty of mangrove fruit out of here, too, which is keeping these folks happy. I mean, what's this district crossing worker looking like? All your food needs are met. And that's about it, yeah. We don't have any other fun stuff here. I could get a nice building of some sort just in the center here in order to help make the beavers a bit happier. We do a beaver statue. Don't know who runs through the center of town. Feels a bit happier. Decorative clock in the center of town. Clock or beaver statue, I think, here. Clock or beaver statue? I mean, oh yeah, hi Bernie. Yeah, no, about the robots. I know, like, the thing is they're not upkeep free. You do need to pay upkeep in the form, because like bots die over time, so you are just paying upkeep in the form of planks and metal. And it's not much, because they do live a while. But it's just, both of those are just more expensive than food. Water is, strictly speaking, limited, but drinking water is hardly ever going to be a problem if you have pumps running. The no contamination is also a good point. That is something you do with beavers. You can have them run through contaminated water. And like do stuff down on the bottom of contaminated lakes, which you really wouldn't want to send normal beavers to do. But again, a lot of the time I find myself just like engineering around bad water anyway. It'll be a bit of a going out of my way to kind of make advantage, like take advantage of the bots that way. Working away. Yeah, we're running out of logs. Too much construction at the same time. this is almost finished at least. That's a big source of log consumption, was this whole thing. And that is hundreds poured into this wall. And then, like, the big log users are just this thing. And this thing, which is through a lot of its logs already, just looking at it. Still need to do that little bit of wall, but I'm most of the way there. Yeah, let's prioritize that thing so we can get those treated planks in. Once those are in, we can have a builder working away on some explosions with the dynamite in the background. Yeah, coffee beans being harvested. Oaks are still a while off growing. Let's get some more oak trees in the back there. Yeah. Those are mangroes. Oak trees. There we go. Yeah, just keep this tinkering away. Yeah, building there, and working in towards the floodgates in the center. These floodgates will need to be lowered. We'll drop you down to 1.7. Incoming drought. Let's see. Hauling post, beaver. Yeah, you've been using the rooftop terrace. That is excellent. Now, I was thinking about decorative building in here. After having contemplated it a second, I think like the idea of a clock, like a town clock, next to the district centre town hall in here. Just get that built in there. And that will cover, honestly, a decent portion of the town since this place is so compact. And everyone passes through this central plaza at some point. So that'll keep people quite happy. Yep, another 2 happiness on everyone. Oh, working away. This thing is slowly taking shape. Yeah, it is just the log choke now. I guess we need to look at stuff that does not take logs, which is, unfortunately, very little. Once these trees are up, there'll be another little bit of income. This forest is mostly pretty heavily exploited. We do have a few trees up here. Are those in range? Yeah, those are in range of a beaver for actually cutting them down. We can increase some of the efficiency here for a second because we still have some non-oak tree scat in there. I'll catch that pine tree while I'm looking at it. Somewhere else I want to cut down some trees. I could cut down some of this drowned forest. What would be the most ready way to access this? I mean, we have kind of put ourselves on the wrong side of this. I could cut down some of these dead birch trees. And this pine forest is looking much more tasty wood-wise. You know, that's actually slightly awkward to access. And with this forest up here, we could start cutting down. Get it out of the ground. I like the aesthetics of it, though. I do like keeping some of the natural dead forests around. They are quite pretty. You know what? I can clear out this. We don't need the oak trees there. Yeah. There'll be a few more planks we can salvage in. So, bridge across the river here. I'll be fine and good. Place to build it would be in there. How wide are we looking? And for the complaining I was making earlier about bridges always needing odd pairs, that is a nice 4-wide bridge with 2 2s. A way to drop straight down this cliff is also going to be important. We need to start thinking about this. Something quite compact with spiral stairs, maybe? Yeah, work from the bottom on the way up here. So we just put a stair there. Get another stair there. 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 Yep, and the spiral staircase our way up here. This could be a tubeway sort of situation. Honestly, a tubeway is almost certainly the best option here. I can send the tubeway. If I wanted the tubeway to access a district here, and then a district further down, I could get the tubeway to unify in with this tubeway station. That's a little bit far away, maybe. Contemplating. What do tubeways cost? Planks and metal blocks. Yeah, this is a tubeway situation, not a spiral staircase situation, I've decided. So the tubeway is actually going to end by this bridge here. And then we'll just run up along this side. Yeah. Tubeway station. Like that. Now, yeah, I don't think we need access to these stairs as readily, so I'm not too concerned about blocking these things off. I will just get... I mean, I can keep it like that easy enough. That works. Yep, then a tubeway out there. And if I wanted to get up to here, we'll have another tubeway station tucked in there, which will need support like that. Yep. And this will be a bit quicker, and then this will act as another relay to a further down tubeway. This is just a point to kind of exit the building if you're a farmer. There we go. And you know what? We can just do a row of platforms like that. And I didn't want vertical tubeways all the way along there. I wanted bottommost one here. That can just be supported by a platform. There we go. You guys can get to work on that. Eventually. I mean, at least these don't actually take logs, and we have plenty of planks. So, yeah, this will give you something to do with all your spare time where you can't be working on the power system. Beavers slowly working away. Oh, that's right. This is another thing that's consuming logs, is this little retaining wall here. Need to build this path out. Yep, this place has run out of logs. Woodcutter is trying their best to keep up with this stuff. You know what? We are not harvesting the mangroves fruit off here. We have plenty of spare fruit over there. We can start chopping down this stuff as well. get a few more logs in off these mangroves since we're not getting fruit. Yeah, this is still draining properly. It is kind of filling up slightly. I think it is. It's making me think it's fuller than it actually is. It's just the angle you look at. Like, that looks like it's very full, but if you get in real close and see, oh no, that's actually fine. It's a little stare down into the exit there. Slightly confusing perspective. Yeah, treated planks there, so... Yeah, and now the limit here is the logs. We're building that thing. You'll get it, I'm certain. Yeah. Everything costs logs. Except this, which is why you're actually getting this done. Oh, you do need metal plank storage over here. Metal block storage. Which will cost logs, but is very important. We do need that. Non-negotiable. How do I want to store you? Just on top of this one? Yeah. Let's get the second layer in position. Stairs up there. Metal block storage. Yeah, because they're not getting the metal blocks in to build this tubeway at the moment, so we need that done. Probably need some water storage too at some point, because we are not storing water, we're just pumping it and drinking it as we pump it, which is not ideal. Medium tanks don't take logs. Is this going to be a good spot for it? Maybe. If I build drop here, that's definitely going to be a good spot for it. So, get some more platforms, build it out over the water. Eight-day drought. We'll survive, hopefully. This place is a bit low on water. Yes. And the clutch is working. I thought it must be, but this is confirmation. The number cruncher has now stopped when we enter the drought, which will help these gravity batteries survive marginally longer. Yep, and this land all stays decently irrigated. As the water level drops, this stuff is going to start withering. It takes about 7 days for it to fully wither though, so if we manage to pass this first day without the water level dropping too far, it should survive. The water level certainly is dropping. We are maybe going to have to import some of the water from the mining station. Now, this wall is all done and ready. Once the drought ends, I'll need to come back here, have a look at this. But this is pretty much kind of what this reservoir is going to look like most of the time. It will be a bit higher when it's full, like another block up. But this isn't really going to be farming land. In fact, this is probably going to be draining back into here land. I wanted dams so expensive log-wise. Yeah, I don't really have the logs to throw around. What I want to do is get some dams in here. or just levees in here probably, actually. So this thing is only draining out in this direction. And I can get those in as like preliminary placements, because there's no way a builder can actually get out there. Yep, you guys all working away. Getting some more logs out of these mangroves. These things are all kind of being successful. Yeah, you guys are, okay, yeah, assembling up this further. Now, if I wanted to actually get up and build those levees, I will need a tiny bit of scaffolding. Well, will I? Yeah, that's not going to be far enough. I do need the scaffolding. Just like that, should manage it. Everyone working away. And yeah, so I want to be draining some water back down this river channel. Which means like raising up here eventually, but and removing these levees. I'm not using this reservoir for anything else, and I don't think I'll want these levees here ultimately. So let's just demolish these for the moment. Yeah, water levels drop far enough that that's not actually even overflowing at this point. Yeah, but that'll get some fresh water back up here. And then hopefully that'll be enough to contest this bit of bad water. I probably do need to get beavers all the way over there. What would be the most efficient way of managing that? I mean, really long path? Yeah, that's not going to work. Maybe I shouldn't have destroyed those levees. Oh well. It's not like bad water getting in here is going to do anyone any harm. That area is not inhabited yet, though. Oh, these oak trees come along halfway. Soon there will be oak trees. Soon. And these oaks are up. Woodcutter's working away, trying to get as much of these in as possible. I think there's probably a bit of an excess of oak trees in here at the moment. Wait, where's the woodcutter based out of? You're all the way over there. You can access all of this. Let's get another lumberjack in here. Some more oak trees planted. I'm not going to make use of that space, I don't think, so this can just be oak tree land. We can plant some oaks along there too. There'll be a little bit more log income. We do have some logs floating around, but it's just like places back in the logging and then they're all being exported out to where they're actually being used. You do need to be a water storehouse, please. Get some water in there if you can. And yeah, final decision on what to store in this place. It's all much for muchness. I really don't think we need more pine resin storage. I mean, we're producing a vast excess of it, but that's just because we don't have that much in the way of uses for it. Like, we're right next to everywhere we're already using the pine resin, and we're next to another pine storehouse as it is. Metal part storehouse. I mean, ultimately, what sort of stuff am I going to need to get this final monument together? I mean, I'm going to need a whole lot of gears, and then stuff for industrial piles rather than these. We do have a lot of gears. We're probably getting more gear storage. Just in this district. Let's see. Yeah, this isn't a food warehouse. It's too far away from everywhere we're keeping the food. You know what? Another explosive storage. We only have one small explosive storehouse in here. And you're next to the explosive producing area. Beaver of a chip tooth. If I can get a shot of you repairing your thing down hidden under these platforms. Kind of see the beaver. Unchipping the teeth on this little grind wheel back there. All very hidden down underneath the infrastructure. 3 homeless beavers. We are starting to get some homelessness. Is this up in one of our core districts? No, whereabouts did we go over population? Ah, over here. Yeah, the 2 row houses are full. Let's prioritize this construction site for a second. There we go, yeah, because that's very quick and free, and that will let me get another worker in. Now you can see the water level has dropped. That was, what, so 4 days into the drought. Yeah, then these live long enough. We should be fine drought-wise in regards to these coffee bushes. They'll like go brown, wither a bit, but they won't be dead by the time the water level rises back up because they are right next to the water source. The amount of logs we have is slowly increasing. I'd also like that industrial pile to be a bit of a priority so we can get the metal blocks imported too. What's this place's storage limit on a lot of this stuff? Yes, you do have a big storehouse for metal blocks. That's good because this place is capped a lot by the amount of stuff that can be transported through the mining station at the moment. Yeah, but a lot of the core industrial stuff is coming through fine. You're good for food, you're good for water. Now I think we can probably drop back the amount of workers here. Migrate population. Yep, and drop you back down to 28 for the moment. As we finish the really large construction project you were hammering away at. So we need to find a way to reach that levee. We need to mess around with this slightly. Now's as good a time as any is to start getting this stuff in. Like get the triple height floodgates, get that levee in. You'll need a double high, single high, spiral stair, normal stair, path up there, path down here. And what's the cost difference here? Okay, these do take quite a few planks. I mean, logs. You do have some log income. Yeah, let's just demolish some of this stuff. Water level's pretty much even on the reservoir on this side, so you won't see too much of a drop here. Ah, you cannot readily fit in here. Locks water up to adjustable height. Yeah, you're too tall. I could just do dams. I think that should be fine. We're not doing floodgate stuff with these. We don't need... I mean, dams are useful for walking on top of, but... yeah, this is going to be considerably more expensive log-wise, though. Yeah, you just don't fit. We can only do the double highs here. And mining that out is going to be a pain, so levees, levees, 3 dams on top. Okay, and that will need a bit more major scaffolding in comparison to the previous plan. So let's actually just delete back some of this. Yeah, we'll need like a double platform. Just stick another single platform on top of there. Okay, and that should be sufficient to get this done. Yeah, floodgates offer a bit more utility, but I'm not seeing a situation where we'd really need to like raise or lower the water level here. Not urgently. You are not path connected. Ah yes, because that is also low priority. We need to get those spiral stairs done too, please. Yeah, we're starting to get the logs in. We're through that little bit of like wrangle we had on our incomes. At least mostly. Places are still saying they can't get all the materials, so they're not well distributed enough, but they are getting around at least. We're no longer using all of them. How is this endeavor going? Oh, excellent. We have blasted most of the way through to where we want to be over here. Good. We have... these are all in position. Yeah, and then we'll get another row of throttling valves in here. They'll redirect the bad water away. Yep, you guys are just building up these last 2 spots. We need to figure out how to get you over here. Let's start getting some scaffolding in for these things. You can build up to 2 above where you're currently at, 2 below. Like this, this. That. Should be fine from a scaffolding point of view. Just cost planks in order to get into position, which is nice. Ah yes, we do have the metal blocks coming in, which means we can start working on this stuff. Now, actually getting past here is, well, maybe going to be a little bit tricky. I might have ordered this built too close to... I mean, I couldn't easily order it any further back, not without moving all these stairs. I'm just thinking this bridge, because we want to run another tube out this way to get down to here. So how would I go about doing that? I mean, I run them straight out the back. We're doing quite a large dive down sideways, which I don't appreciate. I could do something a little bit odd and awkward. like this. Like, that takes up... that's not what I wanted to do. What was I thinking there? No, I don't know. I just did a completely different thing to what I was intending. What I meant was, so the problem here is we cannot readily stick a thing here because we on the edge of the bridge. So we want to do a stair down to access, then that needs to be there. It means you need to be open, you need to be there, you need to be a stair up, you need to be a vertical tubeway with a path on you, and then that lets me feed through this. Yes. Yeah, that dam's fine. We can just delete this. Don't need to be able to access it. Build you there, build you there. And then we just drop down into here. Build along there. Dup, dup, dup. Out there a bit. And so where we're finally going to be ending up is along here somewhere. So I'm probably going to end up diverting bad water further away, so this is really focused in having another settlement just down here next to the bad water. This pipe, however, does not need to worry about the bad water at all. So I think I'm just going to order a single really long pipe to be built along here, get this tubeway station here. Yeah, we'll get a tubeway station just to there. And that can be the tubeway station servicing the district we'll have down here. Then, yep, there. Last couple of spots, there. Excellent. And from this position, while it's connected up to the current district, we can also start working on this thing a tad. I think what we can also do is run people right down here to try and work on getting those dams into position. Yeah, this is going to be a tad awkward. What I might immediately do is just extend this tubeway further out. Because we're probably going to have two tubeways side by side here, one for this district, one for this district. And then this one will keep feeding down so we can eventually access the district down the end there. We'll be able to recycle most of this tubeway. I need to turn a bit of a corner anyway, so we'll just feed this down along this path. We've established that workers inside tubeways are not subject to bad water. This will be completely safe for them, provided they do not somehow manage to leave the tube. There we go. Long tubeway right along that riverbed. And that will get done eventually. A whole lot of metal going to be poured into that. Everything working away happily. How is this thing going? Can I order you to build the valves? I can. Okay, delete that. Delete that. Delete that. We need a series of throttling valves. Yeah, like that. And then once those throttling valves are in place, you will pump water along here. We need to... Okay, we need to have another levee on top of there. Please get that built too. And then... Yeah, I'm trying to think like, where's the water currently? Draining water drains. Okay, out through that platform. So actually this impermeable floor was a mistake. We'll need to tear that up, because ultimately that is going to be replaced with a levee there. And then the water will pour down there, under here. Then we need to block this section. Yeah, the drain is fully complete. We can get the levee in here too. And then this whole lake up here should be bad tide proof. Yeah, and unlike with the surface one, I didn't even need to worry about like water pressure and stuff in here, because this place is just going to be completely cut off. There's going to be nowhere for water to escape, even if this does become overpressured. We won't see any spillage. Now, you are going to be automated on the bad tide sensor. When the bad tide sensor is on, you flow unlimited. When it's off, you do not let it flow at all. Excellent. Building needs water. Oh yeah, water level dropped during the drought, stopping the swimming pool from functioning. That'll fix itself momentarily. Look at this huge row of foundations. Just leading halfway across the map. Yeah, and you can see the bad water spilling in here because we don't have those dams up yet. But, like I said, we're not exactly actually using any of this for anything, so it is fine. Okay, they managed to get all of this built. Stuff is all working away happily. Yeah, I did want to get these levees in preparation for the next bad tide too at some point. Let's get some people up there in order to handle that. Just some stairs. Yeah, relay 1. I will just need to build a second relay using the exact same settings. And if I wanted to actually get up there, yeah. 2 and a 1. Need to do some spiral stairs. Yeah, just straight stairs like that. Simple enough. That functions. And now I'll get everyone up there. Need to get another relay. Automation. Relay. Stick you up there. And copying settings. Duplicate. Copy settings. Yeah, so you are now the same. And I'll just need to find the stuff this is broadcasting to. Which is like gate over there, something. I cannot remember what this is actually doing, and I spent so long on it last time. It's not a function of these just use that contamination sensor. Ah yes, that is right. The fill valves are running off this. Once this is built, I'll need to reset the fill valves to run off relay 3 and then delete this. Path is mostly done. A couple more pieces to go. So we do actually need to be able to access this in order to make use of it. That should help. Yeah, this thing is chugging away nicely. This levee is slowly getting built. We're now most of the way up. Yeah, we're as far up as we can reach. So in order to get up to this next section, let's see how to do this. I think if we just get to the top now, we should be able to start building this. If I delete these paths. And we can just get an upstairs there. Yep, upstairs. And that probably wants to be another upstairs. Yeah, and I'll get a chunk more done. And then throw you onto this top level. And I think they should be able to construct a lot of this from here. They might struggle to reach this little back corner. We'll see. Regardless, that's going to be a big chunk finished. This wall is mostly done now. This thing is also almost done. 3 more tiles to explode. Yep, working. Now let's check over here on this aqueduct. Is this all done to satisfaction on the interior? Okay. Well, let's follow this path. During a bad tide, you will allow unlimited flow. During a bad tide, you will allow no flow. Bad water flows back here. This is all secure out to this point, where it is surrounded by solid levees. Good. It flows down here, surrounded by solid levees. It flows to here. It flows down through that platform, onto that square. Yep. So we seal this in. Yeah, impermeable floors. None of this can have water escape through the top of it. Flows down there. Ends up here. Solid. Flows out there. Okay. That's this water source. Very nearly bad tide. 1 tile to go. Oh, never mind. They've already built it. No tiles to go. 1 water source completely secured. Excellent. Yep, these are on level. I was worried that one was a bit shorter, but no, these are on the same level. That's good. Which is on the same level as this, so that's good. Yeah, once these are done, we're going to be seeing this reservoir fill up to the level it's going to be trying to maintain itself at for the next little bit. Until I raise this up further, because I did build the double floodgates here. It's a bit of future-proofing for that possible situation. And if you guys have done constructing this, I might actually get you raising this up immediately. Nope, nope, not like that. Yeah, demolish the buildings on top, please. Yep. And I'll just pour those more logs in there, and then that's probably about it for the utility of this district. And once the water level increases, I can see about where I'm going to end up settling permanently over here. Yeah, I do like the idea of building something over this bad water. Like, we have these 3 little mountains in the center. I don't know if I'll make use of that underground ruin ever, but if I have a district nearby, that would be a good spot to use it from. Like from here, they can pump water from this lake. They can kind of... I don't know what they can do. I really need to see if they'll be able to grow any crops. If they can't grow crops, they could grow algae and then import canola oil from here and then make algae rations. That could be fun. they will need a bit of power in order to do that. They are kind of the one point in this structure, like this lake, where there's going to be a really concentrated source of power. If I get a power wheel out here, that could probably keep the food factory for the algae rations running. Yeah, that could be a plan, even if I don't get irrigated land once this reservoir's full. Yeah, because it's going to be a lot more logs in order to build this up high enough. I mean, might as well start spending some of them now. You're all too high, so we'll need to do this a bit differently once again. Okay, double platform there, double platform there. One there. Stairs, stairs. Now they've got a very little awkward little dog leg in order to do here. Actually access it, but we're already on red distance for building, so. Levy. Yeah, we'll build out. I mean, we'll just build out to this corner, and then we'll need to start building up this to a next level up. Like, this little pocket of trees will drown, that is entirely fine. All this cropland will be safe. You know, if I wanted more logs, what I can do is probably just recycle these levees. Like, they're not serving any purpose, not any longer. Let's recoup some of this. I won't demolish that just because that's supporting the path at the moment. Having pointless stairs is fun. Yeah, that gets me some more logs. Gets me some more farm space too if I decide I want it for anything. And now I just need a bad tide so I can really see if this thing's going to be working. Yeah. All the logs there. 10 more here. 6 more here. Just had 2 more come in. Very soon this will all be done. Yeah. Your teeth were chipped again. Wait, that's the second time. Ah, yes. Your swimming pool is currently not doing anything because we increased... Oh dear, the water level has increased itself over here too high. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, these things are drowning. Well, looks like the water level increased. And yeah, so we're just no longer going to be able to get mangroves out of here unless I do something funny with train blocks. And all these oak trees are going to die as well. We managed to drown this water wheel. Yeah, I completely forgot about building up this side of the river, but like, it didn't even stop this side from drowning doing this, so. We'll tackle that eventually. Honestly, the thing to do here might be physically raise up this train with the train blocks. Whether I turn this back into a mangrove farm or if I just disable the throttling valve and do something else with it remains to be seen. Okay, so the flow of fresh water through here is successfully forcing back this stuff, this bad water. Is this going to be close enough in order to stop bad water from really flowing? And probably, especially if I build this up even higher at a later point. Yeah, the current amounts of water coming through here seem to indicate most of the bad water is going to be flowing this way away, preferentially. Now, this pipe system is extending out nicely. Still most of the way to go, though. Okay, and water level here should be increasing. Bit by tiny bit. Oh, there's really big surface area on this lake, so we're going to be seeing quite a lot of evaporation. It's a bit bigger than this one. Now, this one does manage to keep the mangroves all year round, so this one should also be able to support a settlement, hopefully. Just let the water level keep increasing. We'll see what it's doing. They did a lovely job swiftly building up this wall. Yeah, just one more tile. All the logs are in. Come on, get that thing done. It's almost going to overflow, mates. Those guys on the way? There he is. Okay. Your artificial reservoir is looking pretty good. Now that you've done all that, I'd like you to stick yet another level on top of this thing, please. In order to make it... yeah, that high. You won't be able to reach any of this, will you? Yep, so we need scaffolding. And we definitely don't need any of these paths. We can keep the platforms. No, I don't want to delete that. So keep the platforms underneath to build scaffolding on top of. And then, yeah, we'll just do it simple. Bend a bunch of planks making it like that. And build that up, please. Yeah, and then we'll start working back along this section. Raise the water level up. Now, has the path down under disoriented, where was I? Over here, yes. Has this been done? It has, so that's going to drain successfully. And that's been built up, meaning it's time to start accessing the interior of this river. Up the stairs in order to get up there. Easiest way to get there is actually quite complicated. Oh yeah, that is quite complicated. Stairs up and stairs down, probably? Yeah. Stair, stair. Stair. No. You need more stairs. You are... yeah, you're on a lower level here than here is. So we'll need 3 stairs on a double high and a single high platform there. Now that'll work. Yep. Unify that up. That will get you over here and start blasting through this bit of cliff. Yeah, and then once that's done, you will also need to tunnel out that section. Actually, yeah, just here and here will do, I think. No, yeah, we need to tunnel out here and here, as well as here, and then that's where these 2 fill valves are going to go. And then we need some levees in there. Yeah. And then that will successfully redirect that in the event of a bad tide. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, the flooding down in this district. Let's start thinking about this, eh? I mean, that swimming pool is done. We are not making use of it, not like that. Delete that thing, please. It gives you some resources to salvage. Yeah, this is all just whatever. You have the path we can access in here, but that's not doing much at the moment. That forester is not doing anything, so we can delete that. This water wheel is still functioning. I appreciate that, at least. Can we get that power shaft working? I mean, none of these trees are needed anymore. They're all drowning. They're all going to die soon. So let's just mark all of these for demolition and get a little path in. I delete some of this stuff. Right, the path is going to emerge here. Okay, so you can have a stair up, which will lead to a platform there with a path on it, not another platform, which will let that power shaft be constructed, hooking the system back up again. This large water wheel is not doing anything. You can access it, so let's just delete that to salvage some of the resources off it. And this stuff is all just periodically flooding. We'll let this slowly fill up with water. Now, what did we lose down here? Okay, metal part, small storage. And a couple of medical beds. Demolish the medical beds. I'll need to get another storage in for metal parts. Your warehouse stored? Yes, your warehouse stored. And interestingly, these decorations are still functioning even underwater. Now what I think we might do here, I can build over the top of you 2 high things. Cool. We'll demolish some of these platforms. We'll just stick the swimming pool straight out here into the water. New location. That works nicely. That sits over these decorations. They'll be affecting it. And now, okay, I need 3 1x1 spots in order to replace the destroyed buildings. Where am I going to squeeze those in? So, I have some roof space I'm starting to mess around with. Yeah, I am going to need to keep this warehouse just as a, like, entrance to this other warehouse. So I'll just need to put this on empty once we have this new small warehouse in position. I mean, I can just build this out slightly. Small warehouse. Prioritize metal parts. Empty goods to other warehouses, please. Okay, now I need 2 medical beds. I can squeeze 1 in there. All being medical bed 1. A second one can be squeezed in somewhere. I can stick it on top of the house. I mean, really, I do want to put another decoration there. So, yeah, let's restrain myself. Let's not put it there. Somewhere else we can squeeze you in. Gather a flag. You're not doing anything currently. This does open up a couple little 1x1 spots along here, actually. So one of these can be the other medical bed. There we go. That puts everything back in order. You know, we see a lot of injured beavers running around here at the moment. Do need those more medical beds in. Honestly, there's a lot of injured beavers around. Didn't even manage to get all of these out, so... Alright, let's just... None. Can I just, like, disable a warehouse? Because I don't particularly want, like, the alert always over the top of here. You know what I reckon I'll do? No, I won't. I'll just leave that alert there. We'll see if this eventually gets emptied out. Eventually. I do need more stuff to spend metal parts on if I'm ever actually going to accomplish that. I'm certain it'll happen at some point. Until then, that little alert over that warehouse can be a permanent marker of my engineering shame. Good progress being made on that thing. Okay, we started blasting up here. Yeah, tunneled back a couple of squares so far. Yep, so if we keep getting disoriented, there's too many new districts to look around. Yeah, so you are getting the scaffolding into position. There you go. Need to get the stairs into. We'll make that a slight priority for you. Because I imagine getting those stairs will make everything quite a bit easier. Yeah, and now this lake is just filling up. I want to be here when it starts to overflow. See what it looks like. But it really is glacial. Yeah, the evaporation off this lake and the sheer volume off it compared to the amount of water incoming means that there is very little water movement in here. We can't exploit this too heavily for water. I could potentially hook it up to this lake. They're on level at the moment. I am planning on raising this one up higher, though. Yeah, we can see this forest is all drowning now. I mean, this water source is also being quite heavily exploited. Like, it's the one sourcing this whole big river, which we have a lot of plans for. The lower section here on this one is also being used. Maybe I could redirect some of this power water down here. I'm using this for power. Yeah, maybe I am going to end up trying to transfer a bit of water from this, like, water system over into this one at some point. Bit of an engineering what's it to figure that out without flooding anything. But come on, you can fill this up before the drought comes. I believe in you, lake. I believe in you. It really is slow, ain't it? Yeah, so this is enough to irrigate up to this level. And the one above it. So up to the level below this is currently being irrigated. Let's see. So yeah, highest level irrigation. Currently at here, marginal. But increase you one more. Yeah, only the bad watered section is going to end up being irrigated. Now, I could do some messing around with irrigation barriers along the edge of here in order to prevent that. Which could make this farmable terrain for a settlement built on top of this plateau. Flooded building. Yeah, this lumberjack flag, we can delete that too. Get rid of that little alert. Yeah, you're still stuck with one metal part you're trying to kick out. Excellent. We have berries being harvested. You in there. So berry stash ready. We can start getting some breeding pods up here. Whereabouts are we going to squeeze these things? Am I likely to make any use of here? This might be another way up onto the top rank here. I think I like that. Yeah, let's start getting some larger scale plans for this area done. We can have our 1x1s along here. Yeah, and then this also leads up to here. We'll want like platforms just generally along the top here. We don't want a path there. Want the path running across here probably, which means this is going to be a 1x1. Means we can get a breeding pod in here. Yeah, and a second breeding pod just in there, in that corner too. There we go. Yeah, just that little bit of forethought, and it gets me the locations where to stick stuff. Now that gets me some space in here. I have like this little 2x2 here. I have a slot here. If I were to extend out this platform there and there, we can then do some row houses here and here. Yeah, tall row houses this time, like that. And that will support a lot more population in here. Excellent, that's housing here done for the while. And now we can see this water wheel is slowly working away. I do actually need to get this hooked up to the stuff I wanted it hooked up to. Which is probably some food stuff, like a fermenter for this cassava. So we're going to be doing corn here too. So cassava fermenter and yeah, I mean, those are the two main things. So 120, 50, those will both operate comfortably just off this one water wheel. Where are we going to squeeze this stuff in? I build up that section. That would fit something quite nicely. So let's go double high platform. Mentor like that. And we can access that like straight over, like we don't even need to access this from this path. We can do something with this staircase up here, which is cute. We'll need to drop you back one like this. Yep. Okay, that's fermenter in. Let's get this food factory in while I'm looking at it. Yeah, and that connects up directly to the power system here. Yep, so we just have a path like that. That up there. And now just need to extend this up so it reaches. Which might be a tad more difficult than it first seems. Yeah, we're going to need to do a double platform there. Power shaft. Here to here. And that transmits immediately, so we don't need to go all the way across. However, people seem to... Oh yes, before the food factory is done, we need to build these. So these are your top priority. Get these 3 things in so we can transmit power. Of course, the drought means we're not actually going to get any power in, but that's alright. And that is that system all ready to go. I do need to actually get the corn farms in position. Now, various times for farming. Corn takes 10 days. That's quite a long crop, so I can put that a little bit further away without feeling too bad. I have to get a farmhouse here. You'll reach out to there. Yeah, I reckon a farmhouse here. And then you're a little bit away, but, you know, close enough to this terrace station. And then we'll start growing lovely corn. And all along here. Just a huge cornfield. We might want a second farmhouse in order to help handle all of this. We shall see. I can squeeze one in like here with some platforms over the water or something. Get that built. Some more crops doing stuff, some more cassava in. And just build out cassava like that. Along here too. Yeah, cassava and kohlrabi are going to be much more labor intensive than the corn at 3 days and 5 days each. Like, the cassava requires planting more than and harvesting more than 3 times as frequently as corn does. So if I expand out this stuff somewhat, we shall definitely be requiring an extra farmhouse in here. Yeah, that slots in nicely there. No, what I'm considering is the district down here, what do we want to farm here? This might be another canola growing plantation just in here. But if I have access to canola oil here, I can plant some other stuff like soybeans in this final section. But because we'll have access to the oil to work with those quite soon. Yep, so we'll build up like that. And now this district is going to almost certainly need some more workers. Terrace farms. Yeah, you're already above what the limit would like is. So let's get you right up to 20 workers reserved, please. Yeah, those two things are not currently doing anything, but when ready, you'll do fermented cassava, you'll do corn rations. Now we need to do coffee manufacturing as well here. Yeah, sure, going to be a bit of wood, bit of water, some coffee beans. Now, you are getting some water in. I kind of want to exploit down here if I can for more of the water. How far do you reach? 6 meters. You reach all the way down to there. If I were to build this out, can I get someone in behind? You know, I think I can, and then you'll be able to pump water from there. I like that. That makes use of this little bit of space. Now, this does require getting someone standing there. I mean, these stairs are just unnecessary. I can just do this with platforms. Platform, platform. I mean, we want 2 highs rather than 1 highs here. Drop you back to 1 time to give me a little bit more time to give the builders their orders. Yeah, get rid of the stairs there. Get rid of the stairs here. Yep, and then straight bridge across here. Too high. Path leading along there. Deep water pump. Flip. No, flip. Oh, you do not reach. Damn. Okay. Well, scrap that as a plan then. I'll be able to figure something else out to do with this. Like little space I built here, so where do we want the water pump instead? I mean, I can pump right next to the tubeway station here. Get some water and transport that up, sure. Yeah, like that. Very shallow. Want to blast that a bit deeper? Oh, it's fine. Okay. Bit more water income. Especially if I'm going to be running the coffee, kind of that's my concern here, because this thing uses 1 unit of coffee. It uses water at the same rate it uses coffee beans, so this might be quite a water-hungry settlement. Yeah, and then, like, food factory uses a little bit of logs. I don't think I want any hydroponics or anything up here. Do you want to give me another 200? So you're, like, as power hungry as the full system array have, so we are going to need another large water wheel in position. Wait off putting on the coffee factory for the moment because, like, we're not getting power anyway. We need to expand the power grid, do lots of stuff. So, let's glance back over here, see how this is going. We need to get another path in. And we are quite close to being done here. I'll get a path in there. I want to build this stuff out first, and then we close in this section. Yeah, and I reckon we might just let the builders do this, and then that's probably a wrap for today, just looking at the time. Finish bad tide proof in this little area. Yeah, then the last thing we really need to do to bad tide proof the entire settlement is to extend out this little aqueduct in order to get people out here. How about would I like to handle that ultimately? So, like, what's the difference here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 7, which means 2 3x3s along this section. That, like that, like that, like that. What do platforms here reach? Okay, you are slightly short here, so we will need to extend out slightly. Which will mean we need to do some funky stuff like that. Just get this designed and in position. Oh, we are, yeah, 1 over. I wanted to go like there, like there. So, actually, that does work. Obviously, the map builders are kind of probably accounted for this. It's like, it is designed that you can just do it with 2 3x3 platforms. 3x3? 3 tall. I keep saying 3x3, like 2x2, when I mean that many units just flat. It's not by anything. Get that overhang in. Overhang in. And then you'll produce bad water. We've kind of established that just a 1 wide channel is enough to focus one of these bad water sources into. So I will just... yeah, impermeable floors. Do a 1 wide impermeable floor here, and then we'll get levees along the sides. Just like that for the moment. Yeah, and this will give these builders something else to think about. We will want platform just so you can get across. I'll get you part of the way. How's the interior of this structure doing? 11, okay, yeah. A few things here. I will prioritize building this stuff if you can. Want to get this redirected at least, and then this can be a longer term concern for you once the stuff in there is done. So from here, we're going to need, yeah, the same deal with the double, triple platforms. You are... this row will just like build like that, like that. See where that takes you far enough across. Okay, so you need to be 2 closer, 3 closer. 1, 2, 2 closer, I think. If I just build those up and just quickly double check. Okay, yep, so that is the correct position. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You there, you there, you there. Okay. And that will almost get you to the edge. That's going to be awkward to engineer. We'll figure it out, I'm confident. We can just build a little capture basin in here that makes sure it all spills in the correct direction and none back over this way. Like I said, long-term concern that's going to be a lot of resources, a lot of beaver hours. Now, you have worked through this. So, throttling valves here and here. Get these things deleted. And then we'll get another couple of throttling valves facing down this way. And they should all be set up pretty well. Oh no, rather than connecting up to the normal bad tide, do I want to just like put a contamination sensor in here? That might be a little bit awkward. We'll just, yeah, automate you to the bad tide sensor. During a bad tide, you are, yeah, during a bad tide, you are like not letting anything flow. Otherwise, your flow is unlimited. I don't really know what this reaction speed thing means. You know, since we are looking at like not immediately adjacent to the water sources on this design, I might put you on a lower reaction speed just to see what that does. I'll need to remember to try and make a note of that at some point. Actually come back and check manually. Yeah, buildings all lacking power. One building lacking goods. Yes, you're not currently supplied with corn. So the corn is growing. We can get more corn. Everyone loves corn. Yeah, we can't get those back couple, but we can get along there. Excellent. Cornfield. And ain't this place looking pretty? The farm's up there. And down here, I'll get some more farms across here. Yeah, Terrace Farm was the correct name for that place. Which maybe it should be Farming Terrace rather than Terrace Farm. Because a Terrace Farm is a very specific thing, which this is not really. I mean, there is some terracing here, but we're not actually using that to Terrace Farm. Yeah, we'll change this. This is the Farming Terrace. Farming Terrace. Excellent. Now, how is this from sitting? Down to height 11. Oh, that's done, that's done, that's done. We just need to detonate these things now. A couple more planks in. We'll handle that. Yeah, need to get this. Build that thing up. Okay, you're delivering the plates to this stuff, so they'll start exploding shortly. Yes, it's such a long haul for these builders. There's so far to go. They do very good work, though. They're industrious, these little Ironteeth. Boom, boom. Okay. Delete that platform. Delete that platform while we're at it. Then you are going to be a throttling valve facing this way. And then the moment these two things are done, which will be quite a few planks, need bringing in 24. we'll get the other throttling valve built as well. Oh, some of the corn here died from drying out. Yeah, the irrigation just kind of faded back a little bit, so... Yeah, this stuff is not currently irrigated. Interesting. This thing is progressing well enough. They're up past this point now. Starting to work their way along here. All little power off symbols over our settlement. Joining this annoying little one metal part symbol. How's this going? Come on, guys. Making good progress, making good progress. Most of the planks into there. Oh, yes. Look at this thing. That is just fabulous. It's tragic that all the irrigated land is the land that is in the wrong spot for that bad water source. If I was playing as the Folktales, the thing I could do is just stick a cap on this bad water source so it stops producing, then farm in these crevices. And that would be a very fun settlement. Yeah, this would be an excellent Folktale settlement location. Ironteeth, it's not quite as good because we don't have a way to, like, seal bad water. We can only force bad water to flow during drought, which is the opposite of what I would like here. Yeah, algae farming over here will be good enough for food income. Diversify stuff a bit further. Keep the beavers trucking away. Almost on 200 adults. We might have passed over at some point or not. I haven't been keeping too close of an eye on the actual number. There we go. Oh, briefly. One grew up, one died immediately after. We just flicked over the 200 adults then. Amount of beaver is increasing. Yeah, so during droughts, some of these further away crops just end up perishing. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. It's mainly the bushes I'm concerned about more than the crops. But these things are all going to live. Not by too much though, they only have a couple of days to spare. The oak trees are bringing in a decent bit of timber now. Oh, that's something I have forgotten about. You, in this place, will need a teeth grindstone, since we have, like, a woodcutter. Just put that there across from where the woodcutter will be. So otherwise, woodcutter will get a chipped tooth and then stop being an effective woodcutter. Okay. That's both in. That is both in. Yeah. This place almost sealed. Delete that. Let's get this throttling valve in. We'll automate you to the bad tide sensor. When the bad tide sensor is on, you let water through. Otherwise, you do not. What delay? Okay, 70%. On both of these, and we'll just see what the reaction speed actually means. Because it is quite anomalous to me. Reaction speed 70% of what? Of base? As far as I'm aware, base is instantaneous. So unless base is like a number, then the way this actually works is when reaction speed is 100%, it reduces it by 100%. Much strangeness, much oddity. I need a tiny bit of resources, need transporting. Metal blocks in on that one. 15 more resources, a bit of construction to go. Now, building out here to get another power wheel, because I will need to do that if I want to support coffee. The way to do this is likely just going to continue as you were here. We'll get some levees up, drop down, yeah, a couple of spots like that. Build up along there. And then ultimately the power wheel, water wheel, going to be sitting, yeah, about there once this structure stuff is removed, the scaffolding. So we'll need to, so in order to fit this in, we'll need to build out one further, yeah, in order to get some dams in front of it. Yep, so out to here. Let's get you, wait, all requested to be built. Get some dams out the front there. Yep, and they'll leave a little space for the water to backflow here so that this thing can pump. Water level has decreased here. Might want to deepen this with some TNT. So this deep water pump can access water more evenly. Yeah, look at how this is decreasing. Just this one pump is sufficient to drain this over the course of a long drought. Just crops dying though. Crops dying is fine. Does enclose this space. If there's any overflow here, we will see some flooding in the crops. I'll need to keep an eye, see if that happens. If it does, the way to fix that is just dynamiting these two squares so it flows out here, preferentially. See how these guys are going? There we go. Okay, that's the milestone I was waiting for. So on that note, with 1 day remaining on this current drought, I think that's about it for this stream. Made some more good progress today. We've got a new district in. We've gotten a lot more engineering in position and more big scale engineering stuff ongoing. We're almost bad tide proofed. We've just got this last little aqueduct to do as our last major hydro engineering project. And then we're looking at what might be close to the final landscape once everything's irrigated. Like we'll have water flowing along here, down in this river. All of this will be blue and irrigated. Oh, it's going to be absolutely lovely. Like I said, I think that's about it for today. So, thank you very much for watching, folks. Thank you very much, any potential VOD watchers out there who've made it all the way through to my end, listening to my little rambling end bit here. And now, next time on Thursday, I'll be back usual time. However, I will not be streaming more Timberborn. Instead, there is a new game which I will be playing very briefly, because by the time I'm streaming next, Deltarune Chapter 5 is going to be out, and I am absolutely playing that as soon as I can, and it comes out like earlier the same day that I'll be streaming. So that's the plan for next time. Thursday, Deltarune. Oh joy. I'm really looking forward to that. And then they'll last however long until it lasts, and then probably back to Timberborn after that. So, without further ado, thank you very much for watching, folks, and I hope I will see you all next time. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.